And Gardner Minshew has shifted from Indianapolis to Las Vegas, where he obviously believes he will be the starting quarterback this season. We'll see if the Raiders do anything in the draft.
What's up, Raider Nation? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new to this channel and you would like to support the channel, please hit that subscribe button. Also, hit that bell so you're notified every time I drop brand new content. And please leave me a comment. I'll definitely respond to you guys. And please like this video so we can get at least 200 likes and the rest of the Raider Nation can see this video. Well, Raider Nation, the Raiders have agreed to come to terms with quarterback Gardner Minshew. Now, a lot of Raider Nation is upset that we brought in Gardner, but I personally wanted this guy on our team. I know a lot of people wanted the Kirk Cousins of the world. Shoot, I was even seeing a lot of people wanting us to bring in Russell Wilson, but I, on the other hand, didn't want either of those guys. I wanted Gardner Minshew. Why? Because I wanted a veteran presence in that quarterback room. I wanted someone who's gritty, who has that fire lit under him. Gardner Minshew plays with a chip on his shoulder. If you guys remember, we have lost twice to Gardner Minshew. The first time came back in 2019, the last season in Oakland, the last game as the Oakland Raiders. The Raiders lost that game. I personally was there at that game, and Gardner Minshew ripped our heart right out of us. We lost in that game. Derek Carr couldn't come back in the fourth quarter, and eventually we lost. We also lost to him last year with Aidan O'Connell as the quarterback. We needed that victory to keep our playoff hopes alive, and eventually we lost that game. We all know what happened. Max Crosby was trailing him all game, calling him a little ass boy. Like I said, Raider Nation, I am happy for this move. I don't expect Gardner Minshew to be the starter. Now, a lot of people are going to say, wait a minute, how do you not expect him to be the starter if we're giving him $12.5 million per year? I don't believe that's starter money. The top end starters make $40 million plus a year. Shoot, there's even some starters making as low as $30 million a year. So the fact that we're paying Gardner Minshew $12 million is a bargain. I believe he's in there to be a veteran presence, to show Aidan O'Connell what it is to be a pro. Now, people are going to say, what about last year? Didn't Jimmy Garoppolo and Brian Hoyer teach Aidan O'Connell how to become a professional football player? I don't believe so. I've heard plenty of bad things about Brian Hoyer. Just look at the Johnny Manziel interview when he sat down with Max Crosby and when he sat down with Shannon Sharp. He had nothing but negative things to say about Brian Hoyer, how he wasn't a good teammate and he wasn't a good leader. So with that being said, I am happy we brought in Gardner Minshew. I know he's going to fight for that starting role. I know he's going to give Aidan O'Connell a run for his money. But as of right now, Aidan O'Connell is QB1. But I wouldn't rule out the Raiders drafting a quarterback this year in this year's draft. I still would leave that on the table. Shoot, I would still leave us moving up in the first round and selecting Jayden Daniels. A lot of analysts are projecting the Raiders to move up and go get Jayden Daniels because he has ties to Antonio Pierce back when he was at Arizona State. Like I said, I love this move. You know, he's going to come into that a quarterback room and be a good help to Aidan O'Connell. Aidan O'Connell is a great teammate. He's a great player. I believe his best football is ahead of him. I believe he's going to get better this offseason. He's going to be practicing with Devontae Adams, Trey Tucker. He's going to get familiar with this system now with Luke Getsy. Luke Getsy speaks highly of Aidan O'Connell. For someone to be named the starter halfway through the year, a fourth-round quarterback, someone who had no OTAs with the first stringers, and then he was given an offensive coordinator who had never called plays. They had to rip half of the playbook and basically start from scratch, and he was thrown in the fire, and he did great. We started off 2-0. Eventually, Aidan O'Connell went 5-5. His first loss was against the Chargers come week 3, but after that he was 5-4 with Antonio Pierce. Antonio Pierce believes in Aidan O'Connell as well as I believe in Aidan O'Connell. I expect him to be the starter. I know Gardner Minshew is going to give him a run for his money, but if anything were to happen to Aidan O'Connell, it is a great thing to have a great backup in Gardner Minshew. The backup quarterback is one of the most important positions in all of football. Yes, I know the quarterback is important. Shoot, a pass rusher is important. But if the quarterback goes down, most teams are dead in the water. Their season's over. I don't believe that to be true with the Raiders. Just look at last year. He had the Colts fighting for playoff position. At the beginning of the year, the Colts starter, Anthony Richardson, went down with an injury. He tore his ACL and he was out for the rest of the year. And what did Gardner Minshew do? He came in and he steered the ship. He kept them treading head above water. Shoot, he was keeping them in the playoff race up until the last week of the season. So if he were to be the starter next year, I would expect us to fight for a playoff spot. Why the hell not? We're building a monster out there on that defensive side of the ball. Antonio Pierce is a defensive coach, and you know our defense is going to be a hell of a lot better than it was last year. We were already a top 10 defense last year. We don't need Gardner Minshew or even Aidan O'Connell to come in here and play hero ball. We just need them to be a game manager, not turn the ball over, and make the throws when they have to. Complete third downs when they have to. Hand that ball off to Zeus when he has to. And I believe the two guys we have in the quarterback room will do just that. Now, it's being reported that Jimmy Garoppolo has been released. I am super happy for that. We got a blessing in disguise with Jimmy Garoppolo and the PED violation. So the fact that we released Jimmy and we're saving $11 million this year, I expect us to bring in some more players. There's still guys out there that can come help us. The Xavier Howards of the world, the Devin Whites of the world, they are still productive pieces out in free agency that I could see the Raiders going after. As far as the running back market, I don't think that it is good as it was at the beginning. I believe we're going to have to go out in the draft and get ourselves a running back. Right now, we just have Zeus, and we also re-signed Amir Abdullah. And I don't plan to bring back Brandon Bolden. So like I said, I would expect the Raiders to go on the draft and draft themselves a running back. Maybe in the second round. Hey, maybe even third round. But one thing is for sure. I think the Raiders are exponentially a lot better today than they were just 3 days ago. We have added more players to our team that will make an impact. Gardner Minshew and of course Christian Wilkins. If you haven't seen my last video, go check out that video that I posted where the NFL has to be put on notice because the Raiders have one of the best pass rushing duos in the league with Max Crosby and Christian Wilkins, not to mention Tyree Wilson and Malcolm Koonce. Like I was saying, I expect Tyree Wilson to take a major leap next year. I expect him to be a hell of a lot better than he did in his rookie year. So that does it for this video, Raider Nation. Tell me what you guys think about this Gardner Minshew signing. I know a lot of people are not upset, but I hope I made you feel better and make you level-headed and really make you think just what he brings to this table. And let me know who you guys want us to sign. There is still a lot of productive players out there. The Justin Simmons of the world. Micah Hyde is still out there. Jeremy Chin. There are a lot of good safeties and a lot of good defensive players still out there. Shoot, we need to shore up that right side of the offensive line. If the Raiders do not move up in the draft, I could see us getting an offensive tackle or maybe even a guard. So that does it for this video, Raider Nation. Till next time, peace.